in here today and let you know about an amazing NFT project that I am super proud to be working alongside with. Teal and myself have put together this amazing roadmap of what MetaTrees NFT is going to look like. So if you've just joined me, we're about to jump into a video that Teal has made that's all about our our NFT project. It's all about MetaTrees. What's got me really excited about this project is the fact that we're using an NFT technology to get people excited about planting trees, but we're actually going to plant the trees in the real world and then watch them grow over the years to unfold. And so I'm not going to rehash all the stuff that Teal's going to take you through, but I just wanted to get this to all our soil lovers, because we're going to be launching this project in about a month and a half's time. So we've got about 6 weeks to get you all really excited about getting your NFT tree and then planting it. We'll do the planting. You just have to help us get this project off the ground. So I won't yap along anymore. I will let Teal do that. So I'm going to play this video. Teal put this together. We're going to walk you through the website and show you exactly what MetaTrees and MetaFarms is all about. So this is going to go for about 20 minutes, but it's a great presentation to give you a snapshot. If you've been seeing things about NFTs and not sure how they can actually add real value and real impact, we want you to get excited about this project, because this is one of the first projects that we've kind of seen, especially here in Australia, where we're going to be using NFTs to actually carbon offset not just the NFT, but whoever owns it. And this is a 20 to 30 year plan. We've put our faces to this project. We're not hiding behind the scenes. We've got a development team kind of put together, and it's super exciting. So over to Teal, and he's going to explain to you what the NFT Trees project is all about. So it's MetaTrees by MetaFarms.
G'day everyone, and welcome to this video. In this video, we'll be discussing what the MetaTrees NFT project is, and we'll be going through the website. So feel free to check out the website as we go over this. But generally, this video will be discussing the main points and the general idea of MetaTrees. So MetaTrees is a project that Regenerative from Farming Secrets and me are working on, so that we can plant heaps of trees and restore degraded farms. And how we're going to do this is by using NFTs as a way of building community and raising funds to plant these trees and to regenerate farms. So there's almost two sections of this project. There's the NFT part, which is a very new idea in technology, but it's really exciting, and I think it will be a technology that we'll be using more and more into the future. So we have that part, and we also have the farm and the tree and regenerating the farm and that aspect. So there's two things going on. So it's important for us to, I guess, understand the difference between that. So just briefly on NFTs, if you're new to NFTs, what they are basically a online contract written on what is called a blockchain. What a blockchain is basically these contracts put together in what's called blocks. Now, by the way, I'm no expert on blockchain and crypto, so some of this might be not as accurate or at a very basic level of understanding. But what, to my understanding, is that they're multiple contracts. Now, a contract is between a buyer and seller for a certain price and certain conditions. So multiple contracts put together. So this contract has to have the end of this contract for it to go on to the other one. It's kind of like Lego blocks. But the powerful thing about them is that they're decentralized across heaps of different computers. So essentially they are almost unable to be hacked. And so that's the real power of the blockchain. It's that they're very secure, and it is just basically a new way of storing contracts. And so an NFT stands for a non-fungible token, and what it is just one of these contracts on a blockchain. So inside the contract, it'll say who you are, or your wallet. So you transact through wallets. What your wallet is, what my wallet is, and the conditions and the transaction between those. So for our project, you get NFT. So you get the picture. Now you'll see some of the pictures, and they're more representations of the NFT. The actual NFT is the contract itself. And so yeah, you get the picture or the artwork for a price. Now for minting, we can talk about this later. What minting is where you buy pretty much straight from us. It's almost like the first lot of sales, and then they go into a secondary market. But in every transaction, it's still on the blockchain. So you get the artwork. Now with ours is very utility driven. So utility is kind of like functionality of the NFT. So as we can see here, we're going to have 25,000 unique NFTs. Now that's really important. They're unique. So if I buy one, it's going to be completely unique to everyone else's. So mine will have a number to it. So kind of like my fishy fam just there. So that number is unique to that NFT, and the artwork of it is unique. So that is my I own that on the blockchain, and that's verified on the blockchain, and you can see all that. So with every NFT that's minted, it will support one real tree on MetaFarms. So MetaFarm will be the property, the farm we are regenerating. And so minting will plant the tree, and then buying it after will support the continuous growth and looking after that tree. So in case, say, the tree dies, we're going to plant another one. It's the NFT supports the place of the tree, and that just makes sure there's always going to be a tree there. And then all of this will be uploaded onto a Google Maps, where you can see your unique tree and the exact location of it. So one NFT plants one real tree and one positive farm project. So this project isn't just about planting trees, and this is what separates us from a lot of other tree planting projects. We find that in a normal tree planting project, they plant pretty much one type of tree, and it's kind of set rows. There's actually not much you can do with that land. It's just for trees. Now, don't get me wrong, it's good when we need trees, but our vision for this project is that we're going to have trees, but we're also going to increase the functionality of the land. Planting one type of tree everywhere, that's not that good. It's pretty much just a massive monoculture. We're not getting that diversity. We're not going to attract lots of different species to it. It's better than nothing, but that's not what we want to do on our project. We want to make sure that we can have the most amount of impact. So we can talk a bit more about what we're going to do on the farm and how we're going to regenerate it. But basically, we're focusing on one particular farm as a case study. Now, that's really important. It's a case study for other farmers to use, and everything will be uploaded and documented. So where is it? It's going to be on the Ethereum blockchain. If you're a bit more into the blockchain, that's just where the contracts will be stored. So there's lots of different blockchains. We're going to be using Ethereum. Now there's some, we know the limitations of Ethereum, but we think it's going to be a blockchain very present in the future. And so that's why we're using it now. So while we're doing this, we want to save farms using trees, and we want that to not just be on our farm. We want it to be much bigger than our farm. So that's why everything's going to be documented. And so when's this going to happen? So the mint date, so the whitelist mint date, which is the whitelist is a guaranteed spot to get some trees, some MetaTrees. So when's that going to occur? It's going to happen on the 26th of March, 2022 at 8 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. So if you go onto the website, you can check what time zone that is for you. It is a bit hard when it's a big global project. But we're doing the best we can to make sure that it's fair to everyone. So the whitelist mint will be open for 24 hours, make sure everyone can get it, and then the public mint will be open after that. Also, you can see our here mint soon. So when it's coming a bit closer to the mint, we'll have a separate page where you'll be able to mint from. So you'll be able to mint straight from our website. And we can talk a bit more about that later. And then we also have our socials. So our Facebook group, our Twitter page, and our Discord. Discord It's very good to be on that. I'd highly recommend it, as well as Twitter. So what is a MetaTrees NFT? So our project is all about impact. We want to impact the environment. We want to impact the agriculture industry. We want to make a better environment, better farming for the future. So we are a community-driven project with the aim of restoring and regenerating the environment and farms. So for us to do this, we need help from our community, so our MetaFarmers community, to regenerate a real farm. So as again, we're going to be generating one farm at the first stage, with plans to expand that further. But in our first couple of phases, we want to focus on one farm and regenerating that one farm. So that will be, we're going to refer to that as MetaFarm, and that will be located in New South Wales of Australia. And we're going to be regenerating that using regenerative agriculture principles. Now, I and Ray have a background in agriculture and regenerative agriculture, so we'll be leading the regenerative process. So one big part of this project is that we're going to be planting 25,000 trees on this farm. And this will allow us to kickstart the regenerative process. So we're going to be taking a farm with basically no trees, and it's going to be degraded, and then we're going to turn that into a beautiful oasis and highly productive farming agro ecosystem. Now we want everyone to be involved, and so that's why we've lowered the price to 0.035 ETH each. Now a lot of projects actually have a higher mint price, but we would like everyone to be a part of it, and that's why we've also increased the number of NFTs. So normally people do about a 10K, so 10,000 NFTs. So we got 2.5 times that, because we want to plant more trees. And so we can increase the number of trees and lower the price, and then everyone can get a tree, and it can be more cost effective for everyone. So we really want everyone to be a part of it, and that's why we're making it as accessible as possible. So then each MetaTree, so the MetaTree is what we're referring to, the trees that we're going to plant. So the MetaTrees on MetaFarm. So each MetaTree NFT will support the planting and growth of one real tree on the farm, as well as support the overall project. So we're not just planting trees, but we're building the soil. We're making the soil more healthy. That's going to sequester a bunch of carbon. Ideally, we'll try and get 0.05% soil organic carbon increase every year, which is about a tonne per hectare of carbon going straight into the ground. So it's not just the trees, but trees is a very important part. We're doing a lot more than just trees. It's going to be definitely the regenerative agriculture and all the benefits that come with that. So that's not all you get for being a MetaTrees NFT holder. You'll also enjoy a lot of other benefits, such as real life events on the farm. So not giving away too much, but we might have a MetaFarms conference. So that will be on farm, and we'll also have some off farm events too for our MetaFarmers. And then we can touch on the other utilities later. So this is an example of one of the NFT artworks. So all of these will be different. We've got our background. So this background's the mountains. We've got our tree. So that's the MetaTree. This one's a dark green tree with our mushies too, orange mushies. The tree's dropped leaves. We got our soil and then the soil texture. So they're all unique, and some features are rarer than others. So for example, the mushrooms, they're quite rare, and orange mushrooms are rarer than other mushrooms. So it's almost like in a way sports cards, where some sport cards can be rarer than others. So for example, if someone wanted to buy a MetaFarms NFT and they had the option between this with the mushrooms and this without the mushrooms, they would price this one with the mushrooms as being more expensive, as the chance of getting a mushroom is more rare. And so there's that aspect of the NFTs too, which that turns them into a bit more of a collectible item as well. So as I was saying before, we want to impact as much as we can. And so we wanted to plant as many trees as possible. And so that's why we've increased our number of NFT tokens to 25,000. and then we can touch on the roadmap later. Okay, so here's some other examples of the MetaTrees. You can see all different types of backgrounds. There's all different types of trees, soil colors, or textures, and then added insects and flowers. There's a lot of different attributes that go onto each tree. Some are rarer than others, and so you get that collecting function. And so if you check out our website, you can read the story. NFTs are a great way to tell stories too. So this story is that MetaFarm was once a beautiful oasis, but with modern agricultural practices, we lost all our MetaTrees, causing the slow degradation of the land. The rich soils turned to dirt, the springs dried up, and everything kind of died on MetaFarm and started to turn into a desert land, pretty much, a wasteland. But there might be hope for MetaFarm. With the planting of 25,000 MetaTrees, we can turn this barren wasteland into a fertile oasis. And that is why we need you, our MetaFarmers, to help with this process. So we have, again, every MetaTree NFT will support the growth of one real tree on MetaFarm, and MetaFarm's located in New South Wales. And then we also get a bunch of utility too. So utility. Each MetaTree NFT will give the holder exclusive benefits. So if you don't hold the NFT, you don't get these benefits, pretty much. And we can verify that using pretty much Web3 technology. It's pretty cool. So the first one is that you get to join the exclusive MetaFarmers Club. Like any other club, it's exclusive. You can only enter if you have the NFT token. Next one is that each MetaTree NFT will plant one real tree and all the associated benefits with that. You'll know exactly what tree your NFT supports as we're going to upload them onto a Google map, and then you'll be able to see. You'll be able to search your ID number, and it'll come up with the exact location, what the type of tree is, and you'll be able to see it from maps. We're also each NFT will also sequester a bunch of carbon as firstly in the tree and then also in the soil as we use our regenerative principles and practices on the farm. The NFTs will also support regenerative agriculture and restoring the environment. Now, because the whole thing is documented, other farmers will see the success of MetaFarms and the functionality of the land. And what we want them to think is, wow, that project, that farm is super functional. We want our farms to be like that. And so they will start pretty much restoring their farms. So in a way, each NFT is directly planting, say, one tree and sequestering carbon on our farm, but indirectly has a potential to impact, well, as many farms there are in the world. And so I think that's pretty exciting. So that's why we want to make it as big as possible. We're going to be restoring MetaFarms biodiversity. This is really important for a functional agro ecosystem. Each MetaFarmer will have exclusive voting rights. So as a NFT holder, you will be able to vote on different decisions on the farm, different outcomes. We want to make sure this is a community-driven project, and we want everyone to come along for the ride. So that's why we think it's really important that everyone has a say too. Being a NFT holder, you'll enjoy exclusive MetaFarms offers, such as merch potentially, and other offers to come to workshops and courses and conferences, as well as other events. And then being a MetaTrees NFT, now this is our first collection. Now, not giving too much away, but being an NFT, but being a MetaTree NFT holder, it will give you eligibility for future drops, which are future collections and whitelists, either for other projects or for potentially more on ours. And I can't say too much about that currently, but that might be in the next few phases. So as I was saying before, each NFT is unique, and different aspects of that NFT will be more rare than others. And so here are some of the examples. Now, this is just the tree itself. We have other aspects as well. And now it's important to note that some of these, some of the rarer ones will have even more utility and more benefits than the previous one. So ideally, if you really want to support the project, it's better to have a more rare NFT. However, any NFT will support the project. And so just getting involved is great. Now, also on the secondary market, these rarer ones will pretty much be more expensive as there are less of them. So the gold will be most expensive on the secondary market, and then silver, bronze, pink, autumn, dark green, and light green. And so that's firstly because of the rarity of them, and secondly because of the utility. So we want to be very heavily utility focused, as well as great art, great community, and a great purpose. And so then on top of these, we also have other features too. And some of those features are more rare than others. Here's a countdown for our mint. So that's our whitelist mint. Starts in 42 days, 21 hours. Now also here is our team. So we have me, Till Simmons, we have Regen Ray, and we have our smart contract developer and our designer team. So I think it's really important that we are known to our community. Some projects, they don't tell the community who they are. I personally don't like that because, well, if I want to be in a community with everyone for a impactful project, I want to know who's leading the project. So, you know me from my YouTube channel, Agriculture Explained by Agrisol, as well as Agrisol on Facebook. You're talking to, I'm talking to you now. You can see my face. A lot of these projects don't have that. You don't have that interaction. All of our community interact with each other, and me and Ray on our Discord. Very much community driven. So there's a little bit about me. I'm studying a Bachelor of Ag Science, pretty much. I'm the founder, Agrisol, farmer and investor. Then we also have Regen Ray. He's the owner of Farming Secrets and Soil Learning Centre. Both have a background in ag, and we are very passionate about ag and changing everything to a more sustainable, regenerative future. And then we have Jack. Jack is our developer team leader. So Jack's role is to pretty much get everything set up for minting and making sure that goes smoothly, setting up the smart contract, and making sure there's no problems with that or exploits of the contract. And then we also have our pixel art team. And so they've come up with the design and the artwork, and it's looking great. So we also have our roadmap. Now, what a roadmap is, it is a kind of like a plan that we're going to use to communicate to everyone where we are in, say, the regenerative process and in the whole process. So this is our visual. So start with our P0, so the pre-drop. That is setting everything up. So our website, social media, the artwork, smart contract developed, and whitelisting. This is where we are currently, or at least making this video. Now, this is a really important phase for any project. It is building community before we launch, and so it's pretty important to have a large community before it launches. So then we have our phase 1. So that's the drop. That's where we're going to mint 25,000 MetaTrees NFTs. Currently, 50% will be reserved for whitelist, and then currently 50% are reserved for public. Now that might change depending on what our community thinks is best. But the price of each tree is locked in, so that's 0.035 ETH each. And then the whitelist mint will start on the 26th of March. Then we have our phase 2. Now everything, now a lot is happening in phase 2. That is where all our regen is happening. So we will be designing the regen plan for MetaFarm. Now we'll be hosting webinars and stuff to show everyone the process and how we're going to do that with everyone's feedback too. So that's something that we really want our community's feedback on to make it pretty much the best we can. That's where we're going to be planting the real life trees for each MetaTree minted. We're going to have our MetaFarms Club, exclusive merch, as well as giveaways. So we really want to be giving back to our community, creating as much value as possible. We're going to be doing even more giveaways later on. Document the whole regen process of MetaFarm, and then MetaFarming, and then farming operations will begin at MetaFarm. Now, this is important because we want this to be a case study for farms. The farm in itself has to be an operating farm. We need other people to look at the farm and go, wow, this is operating so well. It's profitable. It's highly functional. I want to have a farm like that. So that is a large aspect of the farm. Then when the phase 2 is around 80% complete, we'll be releasing some premium NFT items for MetaTrees. We'll also be hosting some real life events at MetaFarms. So really keen for that and to meet everyone in real life. And we'll be doing even more MetaFarmers giveaways. And then the phase 2 is 100% complete once we plant all 25,000 trees. We'll be giving then some exclusive offers to our MetaFarmers for phase 3. And then that's also when we'll be having our MetaFarmers conference. So as we've alluded to before, there will be a phase 3 coming soon, and we'll talk about that in the future. But what our plan is for this project is we're thinking 25 years in the future. This is not a 1 month, 2 month project. This will be a lifelong project that we really want everyone to be a part of, growing value over time, and giving back to the community as much as possible. So all our teams on board with a very long-term thinking plan, and that's what will separate us from a lot of other NFT projects. Plus, trees take a long time to grow, and we've committed to making sure they all grow. So it's a very long-term project that we're keen for everyone to be a part of. One final thing on the project, one final thing on the roadmap is that the transition that you can see here in the visual. So it starts off with this farm. Now I guess that represents the traditional farming of MetaFarm beforehand, and then that slowly turned into a desert. So this is kind of the desert period of MetaFarm, and then as we start planting the trees and regenerating the farm, we pretty much increase the maturity and the stage of which the ecosystem is at. So that's an actual process. It's called ecological succession. It happens over many years, but using regenerative practices, we're going to be speeding that up and really being stewards of the land. So that's a little bit about this visual, and these are actually also backgrounds for our NFTs. So you'll be able to relate that back to ecological succession. So that's I think that's pretty exciting. We also have progress bars for each phase and a bit more detail on what is happening. So if you want, you can go back into the website and read through those. We also have some frequently asked questions. Feel free to have a look through those. We'll also be hosting a number of Q&As, live Q&As and Ask Me Anything sessions on our Discord and Twitter. So I'd highly recommend joining Twitter and joining Discord to make sure you can interact with all of us there. The project is supported by AgriSoul, so that's my business, Soil Learning Center, and Farming Seek, which is Ray's. So again, join our Discord. That's the best way to keep in touch with what we're doing, get the latest announcements. Also have the chance to get on our whitelist. So that is a guaranteed spot to mint 3 of our MetaTrees NFTs. The thing about NFTs is that because they're an asset, just like any other asset, you can sell them. And so if someone wants to buy it at a higher price than what you bought it at, you make a profit. So that's one of the really cool aspects of the NFTs, and that's why we chose to use NFTs over, say, crowdfunding or any of those kind of means. It's because you get an actual asset to say you supported the project, and even though the asset is a digital one, it is still an asset nevertheless. So you can sell that, make money off of it. You can keep it. It is yours. You have the commercial right to use your NFT. And so it's a really cool way of funding projects and bringing community together. So I hope you everyone enjoyed that the presentation. If you are interested in this, make sure to join our Discord and to check out our Twitter. This is probably the biggest regenerative agriculture project there is currently, and I'm really excited to be leading this project with Ray and bringing everyone along for the journey. Our community is really the heart of this project. Without our community, it wouldn't be possible. So big shout out to our MetaFarms community. Hopefully I'll see everyone in the Discord. I look forward to meeting everyone, and sooner or later meeting everyone in person at MetaFarm. Thank you very much. If you did like this video and you are interested in learning a bit more about regenerative agriculture, check out some of my videos on Agriculture Explained by AgriSoul. We have a number of different videos on plant production, animal production, and some more on regenerative agriculture. So you can learn a lot more about the principles that we're using and get to know me a bit better. You can also check Ray out at Soil Learning Center. They got heaps of videos on ag there, specializing in regenerative agriculture. So highly recommend checking out both of us, also on Facebook too. So lots of different ways you can check out what we're doing. So thanks again for watching. Make sure if you have any questions, drop them below. And I'll see you in the Discord.